Let us discuss about congenital congenital dacrocystitis. Dacrocystitis. See, let's try to understand the words. Congenital in the sense it is present right from the birth. Right from the birth, right? Or we can say it is present in the newborns. Newborns, right? Dacrocystitis in the sense inflammation of lacrimal sac. Inflammation of lacrimal sac. Okay, so the definition is inflammation of lacrimal sac in newborn infants. Okay, let's write this. Inflammation of lacrimal sac in newborn infants. So why there is inflammation? Why there is inflammation of lacrimal sac? That we have to understand. This inflammation is due to obstruction of lacrimal sac. Is due to obstruction. Okay, it is due to obstruction in nasolacrimal duct. Nasolacrimal duct. Clear? There is obstruction in nasolacrimal duct. This is resulting in inflammation of lacrimal sac. Why there is obstruction? The cause of obstruction is, there are many causes are there. The first one among those is membranous occlusion of nasolacrimal duct. Membranous occlusion of nasolacrimal duct, and this membranous occlusion mainly present at the valve of Hasner. Okay, here we have to understand what is valve of Hasner. This valve of Hasner is the valve present at the nasolacrimal duct. You see, if take this is sac, nasolacrimal sac. So this is duct. That right? At the lower end of nasolacrimal sac, you will find a valve. Thus, that valve is valve of Hasner. Clear? So at the valve of Hasner, you have membranous occlusion. Clear? We have membranous occlusion at valve of Hasner. I hope you understand what is valve of Hasner. It is the valve present at the lower end of nasolacrimal duct. Clear? The second cause is there is congenital nasolacrimal duct block. There is congenital nasolacrimal duct block. Third is there is non-canalization, or there is partial canalization of nasolacrimal duct. Clear? So the reasons are membranous occlusion, or congenital block, or non-canalization, or partial occlusion. So all these things, these are all the things related to nasolacrimal duct that results in obstruction, that results in inflammation of lacrimal sac. When there is inflammation of lacrimal sac, what we see is epiphora. Epiphora means outflow of tears. Usually, when do we get tears? When we cry. But here, these tears will come out even when the baby is not crying. Okay, this is outflow of tears. So, and that other symptoms include what we can say is accumulation of tears in sac. Okay, accumulation of tears. Due to this accumulation, you will see epiphora. Clear? If the tears accumulate in the sac, what happens? You will see some infection. Due to that infections, there will be mucopurulent discharge. Mucopurulent discharge. Clear? So the symptoms include epiphora. This epiphora is due to accumulation of tears in lacrimal sac, and as the secretions will accumulate in lacrimal sac, you will find some infections developing, and due to that you will see mucopurulent discharge, and you will see the sac swelling. Okay, so as there is accumulation of tears, you will also see swelling in the sac region. Clear? So what we have to understand here is, due to accumulation of due to blockage, there is inflammation. Clear? So due to that you will see tear accumulation in sac. Due to this, what we see is epiphora. And then if the accumulation prolongs for a very long time, then it results in infections. Due to that you will see mucopurulent discharge. Right? So due to accumulation of tears, you will see swelling of sac. Clear? So these are the symptoms. Let's see the signs. When you do regurgitation test, what you see is, you will find positive result. Okay, when you do regurgitation test, you will get positive value. The reason is, as there is accumulation of tears, so when you press over the sac, you will find that these tears, or whatever it is, mucopurulent, whatever gets accumulated, whatever have been accumulated in the sac, that you will see coming out through puncta. Clear? And there will, as I told you, there is swelling. So these are the signs. So what you see is, there is accumulation of tears. Due to this accumulation, there will be swelling, there will be infection. Due to this, you will see mucopurulent discharge. You will see positive regurgitation test also due to this accumulation. So, and you will also see epiphora. These are the things that happen due to accumulation of tears in the sac. Clear? So what happens if you don't treat this? What will be the complication if you don't treat this congenital dactylocystitis? If we don't treat this congenital dactylocystitis, it gets converted into chronic form. That means it develops into chronic dactylocystitis. Clear? Chronic dactylocystitis. And as you can see that this sac is in continuation with conjunctiva, right? So conjunctiva is very close to this sac. So when there is infection in the sac, this infection can spread to conjunctiva. This result in conjunctivitis, and most of the time it is recurrent conjunctivitis. Clear? Recurrent conjunctivitis. And you can also see that these infections can result in lacrimal sac abscesses. Clear? And if you don't treat this for a long time, this results in fistula formation. Clear? So what we have to understand here is, there is obstruction, right? this obstruction can be due to many causes. The first one is membranous occlusion. Membranous occlusion. This occlusion is present at where? Mainly valve of Aschner. Valve of Aschner. Clear? Or sometimes there will be non-canalization of nasolacrimal duct. Non-canalization. Or sometimes there will be partial occlusion. Partial occlusion. Okay? And sometimes there will be congenital blockage of nasolacrimal duct. Due to this obstruction, what we see? We will see tear accumulation in the sac, right? This results in swelling of lacrimal sac, and due to this accumulation, you will also see infection development. If the infection develops, it results in mucopurulent discharge, right? Due to this accumulation, you will also see what you see. You will see pass to regurgitation test. Clear? Pass to regurgitation test. And if you don't treat this, what you see? You will see that it results in chronic form, abscess formation, fistula formation, and conjunctiva will also get affected. That is conjunctivitis. Most of the time it is recurrent form. Clear? These are the complications. These are all signs and symptoms. Clear? Symptoms. And one more thing that I forgot to tell you is epiphora. That is outflow of tears. Clear? Now, what could be the differential diagnosis? Differential diagnosis are two. We have to differentiate this congenital dactylocystitis from two other conditions. They are ophthalmia neonatorum and congenital glaucoma. Ophthalmia neonatorum, and second one is congenital glaucoma. Clear? These two are the differential diagnosis. And how will you treat this condition? The first mode of treatment here is massage over lacrimal sac and topical antibiotics. Massage. See here, if you take anatomy, you will have canaloculi, right? This is followed by sac. This is followed by nasolacrimal duct, right? So here you will see eye. Actually, this will be see, I'll draw it again. So if you take this is eye, clear? You will have puncta here and canaloculi, then nasolacrimal sac, then this is followed by nasolacrimal duct. So here there is accumulation of tears, right? Whatever tears or mucopurulent discharge, whatever. So due to this, as there is accumulation, what you see is you will apply pressure by massage. You will massage here. Due to this massage, what happens is pressure will be transferred to puncta and nasolacrimal duct also, right? Pressure will get transferred. So as you go on doing this massage, if there is any obstruction, this obstruction will be removed. So due to pressure, this obstruction will get removed. So this is the first mode of treatment, and most of the time this is the best treatment that we can do, and most of the children, they recover from obstruction. Okay, this can be continued for 6 months. Okay, this can be done for 6 months. This should be done 4 times a day. And along with massage, we should add antibiotics also. Topical antibiotics. Clear? Topical antibiotics. Now the second mode of treatment is usually done if this massage fails. Clear? So what we do is, we'll do probing of nasolacrimal duct with Bowman's probe, probing of nasolacrimal duct with Bowman's probe. Bowman's probe. Okay, this is done if first mode of treatment fails, and third one is if this also fails, then what we do is we will do balloon catheter dilation. Balloon catheter dilation. Okay. Even if this fails, then the fourth mode of treatment is we'll do intubation with silicone tube. Intubation with silicone tube. If this also fails, then we'll do surgical repair, that is diacrocystorhinostomy operation. Diacrocystorhinostomy operation. In this operation, we'll remove the obstruction surgically. Clear? So this is about congenital dacrocystitis. I'll just try to rewind once again. So here what happening here is inflammation of lacrimal sac. This inflammation is due to obstruction, right? Obstruction has got many causes. One is membranous occlusion of nasolacrimal duct, non-canalization of nasolacrimal duct, partial canalization, and sometimes even congenital obstruction will also be there. So this, due to this obstruction, there will be accumulation of tears in the tear or fluid in the sac. Due to this accumulation of this results in epiphora, positive recognition test, infections that results in mucopurulent discharge and swelling. Okay, if you don't treat this, it results in chronic form, abscess formation, fistula formation, congenital it results in conjunctivitis. Okay, treatment will do massage for 6 months. Then if it fails, then we'll do probing of nasolacrimal duct with Bowman's capsule. If these also fail, then we will do balloon catheter dilation. If this also fails, we will do intubation with silicone tube. If this also fails, then we will do surgical repair, that is diacrocystorhinostomy. Clear? The differential diagnosis for this year is ophthalmic neonatal congenital glaucoma. Okay, thank you for watching.